What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. You join me today for the first look at the Volvo EX30 Cross Country, the first electric cross country product from Volvo Cars. First time having this car on the channel, so that's rather cool. Today, exterior, interior, and I'm gonna tell you guys what's so specific about this cross country EX30. So let's get started. So welcome to the Volvo EX30 Cross Country, guys. First time seeing this car for me, and also the first one here in the Netherlands, so that's pretty cool. Now, as for exterior on this one, it is rocking the cloud blue metallic color, a bit of this blue whitish metallic based color. Works pretty nice with also all the black elements. Then also we see an 18-inch wheel with a bit of this rugged tire on it. Let's have a closer look at that. This is a special wheel for the cross country. This is more or less the standard wheel you would also get on like a core trim, I believe, but then yeah, more with these black inserts and stuff like that. So yeah, special EX30 wheel. Now currently the EX30 Cross Country is only available with the Ultra trim level. So nowadays you have 4 trim levels, Essential, which is a very, as the name says already, essential trim. Then there's also Core, which is this nice standard trim to have, you know, with all the essentials. Oh, funny. That you kind of need. And then also, for example, Plus, which gives you the, well, nice to have stuff, and well, maybe even better to have stuff like the reverse park camera, Harman Kardon sound system, and stuff like that. And then there's also the Ultra, which is this one, meaning you get also the 3D 360 park camera, park assist pilot, the sunroof, and so on and so on. Meanwhile, walking around the car a little bit here and there, looking pretty cool, right? Then as for drivetrain, oh, maybe also the other 2 exterior options you can opt for are the tinted windows. Not on this one, no. And there's also a tow bar which you can opt for, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So Ultra is really already very full option, yeah, kind of trim level. Then let's talk drivetrain. This EX30 Cross Country is based on the twin motor performance all-wheel drive, meaning it has the 69 kilowatt-hour battery pack. There's also a 52 kilowatt-hour battery pack, but that is for the single motor standard range. Anyway, the WLTP figure, so the total electric energy consumption on this one, 18.7 kilowatt-hour per 100 kilometers. Don't expect that really from it. I'd say about 21, 22, and then you're doing a pretty good job already. WLTP range would be 427 kilometers. Yeah, if you get, let's say, 350 kilometers, then I think you're doing also a very good job in like these perfect conditions. 0 to 100 with this thing, 3.7 seconds. Not too sure if you're gonna make that in like a forest or in a mountain range if you're doing like this cross-country kind of stuff, but yeah, 3.7 seconds. Perhaps if you're driving home after a fun day of cross-countrying. And also here, this is also new for Model 26, you're getting this twin performance badge that you can show off that you have the quick EX30. Total system output 428 horsepower, and I recall that I was testing, for example, the EX30 twin back during the introduction in Barcelona. That was a lot of fun. You notice that the car is more rear wheel biased, so when you really start pushing it, the front wheel will also kick in, and that gives you almost a bit of this turbo driving sensation, so you feel that the car picks up, not fully instant, but yeah, it builds up. So then let's have a look at the EX30 Cross Country unique features, and let's start at the front bumper, which comes with this topographic representation of the Kebnekaise mountain range. And I'm sorry, Sweden, for pronouncing that probably very wrong, but yeah, you see this kind of map insert, right? Fun fact, it's a mountain range about 2,000 meters high, apparently the highest mountain in Sweden. Yeah, let me know in the comments about that. And yeah, it is matte black, and this is not a foil or anything, so this is hard plastic. Perhaps if you can also, yeah, that's really plastic. Keep that in mind, because not everything cross-country specific is plastic, but also foil. Yeah, more about that later. Then there are also skid plates at the front and the rear in the low gloss vapor gray. So vapor gray is a familiar color, you know, that's also an exterior color you can opt for. but then low gloss, and that's also really specific what you see, right? So this is more a matte kind of vapor gray. And then let's quickly also already have a look at the rear. Yeah, so over there also, and that looks, yeah, kind of cool, right? More about these wheels. The wheels on this one are the 18-inch wheels, which are the cross-country experience pack specific, but standard the car comes in 19-inch wheels. The circumference of these wheels then versus the normal XC30 of EX30 are 720 millimeters versus 705 on the normal one. So then again, the wheels are also a bit bigger, kind of for obvious reasons, right? Then there are also these kind of cool wheel arch extensions. So let's have a closer look at that. So over here on the front, the park sensor is also integrated into that. This is kind of the classic cross-country approach, right? So just put some extra hard plastics on the side. Also over here on the rear, it's not really new, but it does give, you know, a pretty nice stance to the car, of course. Just thinking out loud, who's the first person who's gonna drop this car? Make it low, then that looks really cool with the wheel arch extensions. Let me check what else then. There is more cross-country lettering or branding around the car. Yeah, that's also kind of obvious, right? So over here in the C-pillar, this used to say EX30 for model year 24, and then in model year 25, Volvo decided to put the EX30 badge over here on the tailgate of the car. Over there. So then for the standard EX30, nothing is being mentioned. Let's put it like that way over here. Then for the cross-country, you're getting the cross-country branding on the C-pillar. And also down here on the bumper, lower bumper part. Yeah, so that's also, that reminds me kind of like the XC70, which also had cross-country in the bumper, and the V70 XC and a couple like that cars. So, and perhaps then to conclude, the last specific thing for the cross-country is this black rear section of the tailgate. Then do you recall that I mentioned that the front was plastic, hard plastic? This apparently is foil. So apparently then I guess you can peel this off. So just putting it out there, leaving it out there. Now you know, but does look kind of cool. And of course you can also do that with a standard EX30, just have it wrapped. But yeah, it gives this more aggressive style, maybe also to the EX30 cross-country. It looks quite cool like this, in my opinion. All right, so let's then talk about the cross-country experience pack, which is a pack, well, you can opt onto the EX30 cross-country, and that will give you perhaps the real cross-country vibes, because then, as I mentioned already, you're getting these 18-inch special cross-country wheels, matte graphite with matte black, tire size 235, 55 by 18. Yeah, details, right? Also mud flaps, but then again on this one they aren't, so that's interesting, I guess. Are they? No, they are not. Funny. Okay, so they are not on this one, but then again mud flaps. Also the black load carriers over here, the things over here, typical Volvo accessory, and then also the roof rack, which is a pretty cool option. Which of course increases the load capacity of your EX30, which can be quite useful sometimes. There's also a cover over here, good for the aero. Does look really cool. Now you can also order this thing for other Volvo cars. So if you're driving like a V60 or cross country or whatsoever, fun fact, then you can also get that on your car. Yeah, you should do that. Hello, so welcome on board the EX30 cross country then. A bit more about the interior of the car, the upholstery. You join me in the pine green upholstery. One of the two choices you currently have. The standard one is the indigo, the blue EX30 upholstery, which you also get in the standard EX30. And then there's also this one, you pay a bit extra for it, the pine, the greenish upholstery. I like it a lot, yeah, but fun to see this upholstery actually, because I haven't seen this one much yet. Not that many people order this upholstery, so it seems. So yeah, only two upholstery options. And let me turn the camera around because, well, yeah, welcome in the EX30. But yeah, besides the exterior of the cross-country, inside there's nothing cross-country specific, which is a bit of a bummer in my opinion. Now with the previous cross-country models, there was always some kind of nod to cross-country. So if I'm thinking out loud, V40 cross-country had this cross-country badge or emblem over here. There were also others which had specific floor mats. stuff like that. And then this one is okay, rocking the rubber floor mats, but that's also more or less a standard option you can go for. This is a model year 26 car. From model year 25 on, there are more of these kind of barriers over here, so to make it a bit more specific for you. With the first EX30s, it wasn't entirely clear how to use this. Now there are these small barriers, these small things over here. I'm not sure how you would call that, but yeah, that makes it a bit more clear how to use the buttons. Besides that, just the regular EX30, so plenty of storage over here, also hidden USB-Cs. Push this and the cup holders come out, 2 of them. You can also move this backwards. There you have a lot of space. You can take this out to clean it easily. Need one, okay, that's also fine. Then push it and then it's just one, or just completely hide it. This always reminds me of the Volvo EX30s, which also had the window controls in the center console. This haptic touch thing is also over here, and for the rear windows you need to press this and then you can adjust them. So yeah, that's pretty cool, right? And besides that, just a very typical EX30 upholstery. I gotta say, I really like the pine. That's a thing, that's for sure. And also cool to see this roof rack up here when you have the sunroof. That looks quite badass, I gotta say. And then over here the center screen, right? So just the usual new generation Volvo infotainment system. Then maybe the price to conclude this first look at the EX30 cross country with. Here in the Netherlands, starting at 52,995 euros. That's a lot of money. You do get a cool car, but that is a lot of money. And for that same amount of money, you get the likes of EX40, EC40, V60, some specs as well. And let's talk like second-hand Volvo Select models. You can get a lot for that money. So I kind of wonder how big of a success this car will become. Maybe Volvo intended it to be more special. Classic cross-country maybe, a special type or line of vehicle, Volvo vehicle. But that's a lot of money in my opinion. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this first quick look at the EX30 cross-country. Big thanks to Volvo Car Netherlands for allowing me to have a first look on my own over here. That's super nice of them, of course. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Subscribe to the channel as well if you want to see more Volvo kind of content, but also Polestar, Lynk&Co. Polestar 4 is coming soon as well, so stay tuned for that. But that being said, guys, I thank you a lot for watching and see you of course in the next video. Bye bye.